Welcome to Alive with Amanda. I am here today and we're going to be talking about how to leap from six figures to multiple six figures. I see time and time again, people are always interested in how can I make six figures? How can I make six figures? And that seems to be a buzzword in the mental health world. If you somehow have started to grow six figures in your private practice, then you have quote unquote made it. And now I'm starting to see a lot of people hitting six figures. That used to really be the buzzword. And now people are asking the next question: how do I go to multiple six figures? Because the thing is that if your private practice grosses six figures, so $100,000, that's not your take home. You have to pay yourself, which will be your take home, taxes, expenses, and profit. So you want to make sure you need to think about how much do you want to take home and then work backwards. So for a lot of people, if they want to take home $100,000, they want $100,000 in their bank, that's going to require $200,000 or more or less, but probably right around $200,000 of gross revenue, which I did some preliminary numbers just so you get an idea. If you wanted to gross $200,000 in a solo practice, you would have to work 48 weeks out of the year, see 25 clients a week at about $170 a session. And so that may or may not be accessible to some of you in your locations, in your niche, in your practice. So if you're like, hey, I charge $125 a session. That is what I'm comfortable with. That's the going rate in my area. That's, relative to my niche. You're going to have to see more clients. Not everybody wants to see more clients. And so you have to think about, how can I bring in other streams of income? I can tell you, when I went from one six figure to multiple six figures is when I brought on renters to my group practice. And so I started a group practice and I had renters, and then I started to be more in what you would probably need to make a little less than $20,000 a month in your private practice in order to have multiple six figures. So if I'm losing you in the math, I'm sorry. I know math is not fun for everybody, but you need to know really how much you want to make every month, because that's usually the first goal that people have, is how much do they make monthly? So then it extrapolates to a year. So if you're not interested in doing a group practice, there are a lot of ways that therapists can have multiple streams of income. Maybe you have workshops that you do. Maybe you have an online course that you offer. You can rent. You can have a group, like a traditional group practice. You can have speaking engagements. You can write books. We are experts, right? We are experts in our field. Maybe we don't feel like experts when we compare ourselves to other therapists, which I don't think you should do. But to lay people, you are the expert. You have things to share with people in a variety of different avenues. The thing about multiple streams of income that I was really taught is that you have to make sure that your first stream of income is giving you enough money. So I'm going to talk about that in 1 minute. But first, I want to thank our sponsor, TherapyNotes. If you're looking for an electronic health record that's really full service, you can do billing, you can write your notes, there's a client portal, and you're looking to speak to somebody, if you have questions, if you're looking for good customer service, I want you to check out TherapyNotes. And the best thing about TherapyNotes is that they have a free telehealth option. So I highly recommend TherapyNotes for you. What I see a lot of people do is they maybe are getting a little burnt out in therapy, or they don't necessarily have all their systems in place for their private practice, but they want to have extra money. So then they're like, hey, I'm going to start doing courses. I'm going to start doing workshops, but they don't have the infrastructure in place for their practice. I was taught that when I was thinking about initially kind of doing some multiple streams of income, my group practice wasn't where I needed it to be for me to be able to put the focus there. And so I put a lot of focus in creating systems for my group practice. So then that way, it freed up time for me to be able to go in and do other things for multiple streams of income. I hope this was helpful to you. Good luck in building your multiple six-figure practice. Bye, everybody.